Today we're gonna have a short video how basically to understand the market in one video. Obviously, it's not that simple, I don't want to show the simplicity, but I'll show you the steps at least that you have to pursue in order to understand the market. The first very important thing you have to know it's a level. In a lot of books that you probably have read about trading, you have levels. So you have a support and resistance. We use in our trading strategy a little different. We have 9 different varieties of the levels. I'm not going to tell you all of them right now, but I'll tell you a few of them. So whatever you see here, it's called mirror level, where support becomes the resistance. So obviously the broken trend, very important. The level which is formed by the paranormal bar. What is a paranormal bar? The paranormal bar, it's the bar with at least 2 ATR in it. 2 ATR, average through range. So what do we know? Why? Because in a bigger ATR is much bigger volume, and obviously this is a level. It's a limit level where basically the strong seller is not allowing the buyers to break the level. And we have another level which is gap. And it's actually 9 of them, but I'll just give you a few examples. So you have right here some variety of examples of the level. So level is the number 1. Second thing you definitely need in order to understand where the, let's say, instrument is going to go, it's the energy. Obviously the energy usually comes from accumulation. The longer is the accumulation of the energy, the more chances of the instrument goes up and down. You have to have energy. This is very important thing. Third thing, it's a direction. This is by far one of the hardest thing in the market you need to understand. But for example, if you know there is a level, if you know there is a energy, let's say accumulation can come, when basically the stock or future or let's say commodity or forex or even crypto stays pretty much at the same level with a definite low level and a high level accumulation. So call it range. It's a range. So once we have a range and once we see it goes to the, let's say, upper level or lower level, we can understand that it's going to be breakout. The longer of the accumulation, basically the faster breakout is going to be. And a very important thing in energy, it's obviously counter trend. So when basically an instrument goes vice versa, so it went, let's say, from 3 to 5, and now obviously it's going from, let's say, 5 to 3. And the fourth one is very important, which is a lot of different varieties, is the entry level. Entry. So you can use few different varieties. So it's a breakout, it's a false breakout, and it's a limit. Unfortunately, not that many of them you can trade. This is the 3 different varieties. So right now, what we're gonna do in order not to be super smart, we're gonna go right now to a regular chart, and we will figure out what to do, because you understand one thing: you have to have level, you have to have energy, you have to have entry level. That's all you need. So the most important thing, what I do every single day, I do homework. How I do homework? I go stock by stock. Let's say I go Tesla. I try to figure out first the levels. So obviously the levels here is too far, $200, so I'm not going to even look at the stock. So I'm going to look at the stock which is closing or trading near its own levels. So let's say right here, high is a 785.75. You see right here, it's a very strong level. We see the low, pretty much 785. So I understand one thing. Does it have energy? It does have a lot of energy. From $480 to $820, it's about 40%. The stock went up 40% pretty much without looking back. And right now, obviously, it can do the false breakdown. So if it's gonna go below 785.75 right here, we can say it's a false breakout, and basically the stock can go down. You know, it's absolutely normal. So that's what I do. I go one by one until I find it. So right here we have a very nice situation. It's a stock docu. We have a upper high range and a lower side of the range, and we have accumulation. Accumulation is not that big. Usually I like the accumulation in the stocks like 2 to 3 months, but still, you know, this is a decent accumulation, 2 weeks, which is enough. Don't forget one thing, this volume which is accumulating here supposed to go somewhere. So let's say it's a water, you pour the water, obviously the water has to go somewhere if it's excess of water. So if it's an excess of stock trading in between, it has to go somewhere. So once basically it's gonna go right here, which is basically try to make a false breakout today. You see it's a 52, so we'll see right now. You see it went above 52, and right now it's about 51.75. The volatility is pretty big. So if the stock is gonna go above $52, we have a chance the stock for the break up. And right here is the lower side of the range, you know, so both of them has a very strong level. So it's a 50. So if the stock is going to go below 50, obviously I don't like two different sides of my decision. I usually see how the stock is trading inside the range, and only then I make a decision where I'm going to take the stock, higher or lower. So it's a PLTR, nowhere PTON. PTON, very nice. Right here, it's a 450 level. PTON, the stock got destroyed, right? I'll show you right now so you'll understand. Peloton, the stock did very well during the COVID because everybody was home, everybody was buying something. Now the stock got destroyed. So what does it mean? It's a lot of short sellers. That's another strategy. A lot of times the stock, when it breaks, well, in this case 450 is a level, it has a chance to go higher. I don't know how high it's going to go. It's not a big accumulation, but it's enough. So if it's going to break 450, hopefully not today. I'll tell you why, because today the stock already did some move. I usually don't like enter the stock which they did a move on. I like basically the stock when the move already begin and I'm in the beginning of the move. So if it's going to break 450, it has a chance to go $5 a share, you know, which is about 12%. So that's what I do. I try to go to every single stock is in my list, you know, and I have a lot of them, and I figure out the stock which is, in my understanding, you see Beyond Meat, it had a level of $8 a share. It came from here, it broke $8 and it's go higher. You see from $6 to $8 a share, it's a very nice move. So that's what I do. I go to every single stock until I see there is accumulation, or you see there's accumulation, or there is a different category of accumulation. 450, you see, like for example, I have the stock in my list. What I usually do, let's say AMC has a lot of short sellers, a lot of short sellers. You can go on a website, I'll show you right now. Okay, we'll go on the Google and we'll show it. You see, you can go the most shorted stocks or the stock with biggest short interest. A lot of website, you can take a look. You see, you can go a lot of stocks, which is a Beyond Meat. Also, it's going up. You see, I just showed you Beyond Meat. You can go. There's a lot of different stocks which has a huge short interest. You know, Novavax. So it's a lot of different stocks which has the short interest. A lot of short interest, and you can see. You see, some of the shorts are short, like almost 75%. So if it's gonna turn around, like Beyond Meat, at a 38% of a short interest. Some stocks, you see, have a huge short interest. So in this case scenario, once you know the stock has a lot of short interest, and don't forget the short sellers, they have to cover the stocks. So what I usually do, I put right here the set alert. You see, I can go set alert right here. So I go set alert and I put a 490. So once you see, I have a lot of alerts. Once the stock is going to be at 490, it's going to show me an alert, and I definitely understand because the stock is in my list. What I usually do, this is my list, right? I have it in the list right here in the second page. The stocks, what I want to do, either short squeeze. You see short squeeze. See, stock did very well. It's double, triple on the short squeeze. This stock has a lot of short squeezes. AMC on the short. Then I have a short stock on the short side. Rivian went down. You see, this is a accumulation. AAP went out. So what I do, always finalize for myself what I'm gonna do in the market. I have a lot of different pages. I create a lot of different pages. What I'm gonna do with that particular instrument doesn't matter. It's a crypto, or it's a stock, or it's anything else. So that's what I do. I try to figure out what possibly can be done. Is there accumulation in a stock or a distribution? And then I put the stock in the list, and then I try to trade. That's what I do. I never do sudden moves. I prepare everything. I have every level drawn. I know a lot of people, they trading crypto right now, and you'll see that it's absolutely normal to analyze all of it together. There's nothing hard of analyzing, let's say, Bitcoin or Ethereum. So let's say you see right here, I have levels on the BTC. So the higher level is a 5281, and the lower level right here, see, 50,683. That's what I have. So obviously, if you see lately in the last 2 weeks, the Bitcoin is an accumulation study. Where it's gonna go, we don't know yet. Why? Because inside it's not showing us. So, but we know one thing for a fact. That's after Bitcoin moved from 40,000, let's say, to 50,000, it's a 25%. It's a very large move. You know, we didn't have any pullbacks, which is a good sign. So why? If after the big move, there's no downside, so nobody's selling it, it means two things. It's either somebody is accumulating more for the further move, or somebody big buying everything what the people try to sell. A lot of people is going to try to sell because a lot of people made some money. Don't forget, some people bought at 30,000, right? And made 70%. And obviously in this particular case scenario, they see that the instrument is not dropping, so they're not selling it. But if we're going to see the instrument moves toward the upside, toward the 5280, 52,800, it's going to the upside, we can expect alongside. But for now, whatever you're going to try to do, it's going to be no success. Why? Because the Bitcoin is going nowhere, at least today. So you have to see how does behave right here. If we're going to see what's his behavior, then we can understand. Today, in this relatively short lesson, I try to explain for you how the market behave. You understand one thing. There is a stocks which is much stronger than the market. There is a stocks which is much weaker than the market. So the job is to understand what to buy, what to sell, where to buy, where to sell. Because if you can take a look, there's some stocks today which is on the downside. It doesn't mean it's a bad stock, but don't forget one very important thing. In the market, the money always moves, always, from one side to another side. You know, there's not trillions of dollars come to the market and go out of the market. Pretty much the market is like a balloon. It has the money inside. So the money is always moved, let's say, from one sector to another one, right? If let's say, a lot of money was moved to NVIDIA, and then money is going out from NVIDIA, they're going to go to a different class. You can go to Meta, you can go to Netflix, you can go to Amazon or anybody else. So you have to understand to trade the market, you have to understand one very important thing. The market is live, you know, it's live. You understand? It's not dead. So the money is always moving there, and you have to understand, if you're going to understand that the market is live organism, right? It's like a human, you know, it has its own mood, its own money movement, my market, and everything else, then you'll understand, and you're going to try to understand how the market operate, and you're going to make money. So good luck to you all. I wish it was a good, valuable lesson for you. So good luck to you, and watch the next lesson.